Melissa and I are really excited to share one of our newest innovations this year called the Growth Matrix. We built this particular technology to solve a couple of big pain points that our clients have really faced in the industry over the years. You know, being a big brand or manufacturer in the e-commerce space usually comes with a couple of big questions. First, as I look across any individual brand's catalog, the number of products you have to manage can be quite large. So that's the first issue, is how do you really pinpoint the products within your catalog that you need to focus more resources on? The second big question that brands face is, well, what actions should I take to actually grow my sales the fastest with any particular product? So that's where the Growth Matrix really comes in. And what we're going to do in this video is go through a quick little demo. So I'm going to pull up my screen. And we're going to look at a particular example from a dog supplement brand. And right here you can see the growth matrix, where you've got a nice 2x2 system. But within it, we've plotted each one of these individual dots represents a particular SKU within the brand's catalog.
You know, Michael, one of the things our clients say they really like about the growth matrix is that we're able to actually pinpoint where their SKUs sit compared to their competitive set. So we have our two axes of traffic and conversion, and we can see where a SKU over indexes or under indexes in either of those metrics. And then depending on where they fall, there's going to be certain recommendations. So our bottom quadrant is going to be our Rationalize quadrant, and these are our underperforming SKUs. So we don't want to invest additional marketing dollars there. We want to be careful about focusing too much energy towards those because they're not performing within their competitive set. Above that is going to be our upgrade quadrant. So these are our SKUs where maybe they're driving a lot of traffic, but when the consumer ultimately lands there, they're not necessarily converting. So how can we look at our pricing strategies, our ratings and reviews, our product availability to ensure that once we drive that click, the consumer ultimately purchases? The bottom right-hand quadrant there is going to be our invest quadrant. So that's the inverse of our upgrade. It's going to be where if we have any incremental ad dollars, we want to invest them in that SKU. And then above that is going to be our leverage SKU. So these are going to be our SKUs that are outperforming the category in conversion and in traffic. But sometimes we want to dig in there and see what else we can do to continue to drive that momentum.
Yeah, what I really like about the Growth Matrix is its simplicity, right? You can be a brand that has a really big catalog, many different SKUs, and it makes it really straightforward to understand where does each product fit within your brand, but also, as you mentioned, benchmarked against all of the competitive products out there in the industry. And based on the quadrant it's in, you know exactly, do I need to get better at conversion or get better at driving traffic for this particular product? Maybe the next step here is we could take a look at this individual product in the upper right quadrant, the leverage quadrant, and see, even though it's doing quite well, right, it's ranked pretty high. It's in the 96th percentile for traffic and in the 84th percentile for conversion. Are there other things that we could do to actually grow this product even faster on the platform? So let's take a look at that product.
Yeah, and as you're doing that, I think that's a common challenge that a lot of our clients have is how do they make the most out of those top hero SKUs? So I feel like this exercise is something that they're looking at a lot when they're digging into the growth matrix.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've just selected this individual product that's doing quite well. And taking a look at some of the key metrics here, you can see it's growing very rapidly from a traffic perspective, right? It's got 39% growth in the number of page views it's generating. But from a sales perspective, it's almost doubled its sales year over year. It's grown 99% from a retail sales perspective. So on the surface, it seems like this product is doing really well. Maybe there aren't really that many additional levers that we could pull to grow the revenue on this particular SKU. As you look in the central part of the page, though, I can see a couple of areas where maybe there are some gaps in the performance. The two that kind of stick out to me are right here in the center, the content score. This product has just a 60% score out of 100, so there's certainly some room for improvement there. The other area that really stood out is the ratings and reviews. This product has just a 3.6 star rating overall. And although that's not terrible, it's also, you know, not very high performing either. I mean, typically for a product that's really going to be one of our hero SKUs, we'd love to see the overall star rating at least above 4.0 stars. I think that that's really where the recommendations come in, because it's one thing for you and I, who has spent, you know, nearly a decade in this industry, to be able to isolate in 30 seconds, like, what are the pain points in this product? But not everyone has that much time or focus on every SKU. So the next feature we're going to talk about in today's video is the recommendation system, where we have an AI-powered algorithm that's automatically looking for all of these insights on every product every day in your catalog, and it can kind of pinpoint where do you have any individual gaps that can be cured with some additional action? So maybe next I'll take a look at the recommendations tab.
Yeah, it sounds like from the way you're describing it, it's kind of Beacon is doing the heavy lifting for our clients for these SKUs instead of them needing to necessarily dive into all of those individual data points. Beacon's going to give them that recommendation.
Absolutely. I think between the two of us, we've probably spent tens of thousands of hours manually identifying insights like this, which is great. I still enjoy doing that, but it is nice for, especially for brands that have really large catalogs, to have the AI behind Beacon do the heavy lifting for you to really surface what are the biggest pain points with any product and what actions should you take. That's what I love about this feature here, the recommendations tab. And these are all algorithmically driven. And as you can see, Beacon surface the same insights that you and I just found here too, right? Where the top two recommendations are first, content score. Beacon is basically proposing, hey, for this particular product, you should try to improve your content score. And if we take that action, Beacon has also quantified what is the sales impact going to be. So right here, it's showing on the screen on the right-hand side, if we improve the content score on this product to 100%, that would drive an incremental 2,000 additional units sold above our current forecast over the next 52 weeks. So it's kind of nice for it to tell us what action to take, but also if we go and put the resources into revamping our PDP and enhancing all the content, what is the actual ROI and payoff we're going to generate from that? That's kind of nice.
And that's a question I think our clients ask us all the time, is we're making these recommendations on like where there's room for improvement across their business, but what does that actually mean to their total revenue, which is always their goal to grow their business. And so Beacon's able to give us that exact answer.
Absolutely. And I know we're looking at one individual product in this video today, but just imagine if we were looking at 100 products in our catalog. There may be a good number of them that have content improvement recommendations. And maybe we don't have the people or the bandwidth or the resources to actually upgrade our content on all of those products at once. So having the net sales impact already pre-computed for us would help you and I actually prioritize which one should we go focus on next. The second recommendation that you can see on the screen here is Beacon has also discovered that, yes, there's an opportunity to improve the ratings and reviews and get it to at least a 4.0 star rating on this particular product. And if we did that, if we leverage like the Shopper OS ratings and reviews system to drive a lot more rating volume at a higher star rating, if we accomplish that, it would drive an incremental 2,461 more units sold over the next 52 weeks. So that's one of my favorite features in the Beacon Pro platform, is the fact it can really isolate the biggest opportunities, but also quantify and help you and I figure out which ones should we actually go and work on.
Absolutely.